Welcome to the channel. My current kind of project, among many others, is this old all-wave Magnavox AW-100 radio. It has, at least based on what I read, it's one of the first fully transistorized shortwave radios in the world, or the first one, in addition to the maybe Zenith radios, which had their first transistor version, I think maybe a few months after this, but somewhere in the beginning anyway. It's a very early one. I like this, the form factor, nice size, everything, good quality, though I don't find this very often where I live, almost ever, so I managed to get one on eBay. Now, does it work? I have no idea. Internals look relatively good, but I'm a process to make this work. I think there's not much to replace in this one, just maybe first I will clean it up. We do some basic measurements of inside and stick a battery to it and see if it works. Let me show you around this one first. So here's the dial, like the dials. You can, this way, okay, maybe lubricate the button, variable capacitors, shaft. Here you can change the different dialing areas. Here's some buttons as well. Not sure what they all do. There's some bitting here. Just let me try some additional light. Yeah, pattern, leather pattern, a little bit back. I guess I will open it from here. Not sure what these are. Maybe this is on off. It clearly opens from here. That's the antenna. Nice brass knob. Oh, this is a big antenna. Nothing else here. So I think that's it. First, I will start by, I guess, cleaning it up from the outside. Instead of you watching me as I do everything and taking a long time, I'll just tell you shortly what I did. So here's the cleanup part. So basically, often with this kind of stuff, I used a toothbrush. And in this case, I used a car interior cleaner, nothing specific about this brand, or Windex, and some wipes and microclothes to generally clean up. That takes care of most of it. There was some paint drops. First I used alcohol on them. If it doesn't go away, then use acetone. But always try to avoid acetone, because like these fake leathers, they get damaged by acetone very easily. The paint starts to melt and the material. But start with the less invasive, stronger one and so on. This one still needs a bit of cleanup. This I cleaned up with my Dremel, or not actually Dremel. I have one by Proxon and using a wire brush. So I took this out and just brushed them clean. That did most of it. Bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and clean those surfaces. Again, if you use acetone or something, you might remove the lettering, which is not good. Okay, that needs a bit of a fixing, but anyway, then after that, after cleaning it up, here's the open one case. Based on what I saw here. So here's the open case, and what I saw here, it was a lot of dirt, so I just vacuumed it. I have a narrow nozzle, vacuum all the dirt out. I used some white glue to glue down this leather edge here. Glue down with white glue, simple glue a bit here and there, this paper, so they all stay still. What else was the problem? I think someone at some point, although a long time ago, has changed many of the caps, which is good, assuming that they got it working. The dial thread was out of place. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but there's a small roller over I don't know if you can see it, but over there's a small roller there, tip of my thumb. So I made this kind of tool as a toothbrush. I sometimes use, I make a notch to it. Take the string into the notch and just push it in place. Simple tools. The dial might need adjustment still. Then after the dial thing, it had this as a power connector. Basically on 2 pins was used, plus minus 9 volts. I replaced it with this one, and I guess now it's time to see what will happen when I start it up. Hopefully nothing will hopefully nothing will go wrong too bad. Yeah, I have this one, so I'm planning to use this one as the battery, because it will be about the size that was here. But now for this testing, I think this 9-volt one will be sufficient. I did measure that this should not be short circuit, but you know. Oh, okay, started. It did start. Okay, so this was the fine-tuning knob. Oh, this was the fine-tuning knob. This is FT. Okay, let's try. It seemed to start. Sorry about the bad photograph. Let's try. Yeah, there's a lot of noise here. I wouldn't be problem. See, I'm touching this. I know the dial isn't correct. Sounds a very familiar noise in my office. I mean the electrical noise. And the dial is. So this one is volume, this one not sure. This one is just a tune somehow. This one's volume. There's supposed to be a button for light. Let's see if that works. Oh, the light for the dial, at least. I don't know if there's supposed to be two of them. One of them does work. One not, if there isn't any. Nice. So maybe one light doesn't work. Maybe need to check if there is one. But the other light lamp works. The potentiometers probably need to be cleaned up a bit. I'm not sure if it needs to be calibrated or adjusted somehow as well. So it basically works. I'm very, very happy about this. I think now I need to clean the potentiometers a bit. Maybe some contacts to get that one. Check if there is a lamp there or only on this side. And I need to repair the knob in the front, the fine-tuning one that's broken. As you can see, this knob has broken down on one side, so this caused some problem in the radio, Magnavox radio. I could scan this, have a new reprinted. Would not look the same probably. Or I could try to repair this. Just making a thin plastic wall there doesn't work out that way. So I left here a small gap, which is supposed to be with the flexibility of it. It's going to crimp on the metal axle of the potentiometer or whatever knob there is. Then I used aluminium, thin one. I don't remember, 0.5, 0.7 millimeters. I made a small, like a sleeve around it. And I've been using this Permatex plastic welder, since it's aluminum and plastics, to glue it there. Now I'm waiting for some 24 hours to this to dry. After that, I will fill in some of the wall here to try to even out the space so that to make it correct shape and size. Now here's the finished product of the fixed knob. I know it doesn't look the prettiest, so I reinforced it with the plastic, because if I just put like this glue, which becomes essentially plastic, a plastic welder that you can use as a filler, it would have not survived, would have cracked. So I glued this to first this reinforcement made of aluminum, filed it to the correct size, and then filled some of the gaps and the surfaces with the plastic. And this ring here in the end, this was as it was supposed to be. This was the original one. Now, does it fit exactly perfectly? Not entirely. I think there's still something. I think the knob wobbles a bit, or this one. I don't think it was originally very accurate either, but here it goes, and at least it doesn't seem to break so easily. Anyway, it's there. I think now the more, and it works. Before it didn't even work. And you can see it's kind of doing the fine-tuning of the dial. But now the biggest problem is that this dial doesn't go all the way to the... I don't know why when I put power to it, it went, but now it doesn't. So I need to figure out what's wrong with this one, with the dial movement. Once I figure that out, I think then we can again try it and see if we can tune some stations and how accurate it is. Does it need calibration? Let's see. The batteries was a bit of a problem because the space for the battery box, all is here, then it goes under here. It used to be quite big, the battery. However, I think this 9 volts from this 1.5 voltage C cells, I think they are C cell, and that should be enough, and it's connected to this 9 volt battery style terminal. And I had to extend this cable so it would reach here, and I used some plastic epoxy to form a kind of a protection around this stuff. Yeah, this one goes there. I still have this. I tried to put this, like last time, got this button in front. It was a bit too loose and it didn't work well, so I'm trying to redo part of it. Once I'm done with that, I will do still some cleaning of the internal components, and after that I think I will just take it somewhere where there's less electrical noise and try it out and see how well the frequencies match from the display or screen. But yeah. Okay, now to work on this one again. So I ended up having to take this away from here because, for one, because the big knob here was covered in this kind of goo, and that's why it wasn't sliding for one properly. Need to clean that up. Then there's a lot of dirt everywhere here, and I can see now, I was wondering about how it works. So there's a separate rubber loop around this one, the fine-tuning and main-tuning knob, but I need to lubricate all of them. Now I can get to lubricate and clean these potentiometers properly. And here, this cable isn't in its rail, in the place where it's supposed to be. Let's see if you can see this one here. It's not there. So I think that definitely needs correcting. Okay, I will get back to you once I'm done fixing and cleaning this up. Basically, what I've done is I cleaned up the place, all the dirt, grease. I relubricated and cleaned the potentiometers, all the axles. And now it works, the dial works perfectly now that all the cables are in place. And there's only one roller, this one. I'm lubricating, but it just doesn't want to roll too much. It rolls, but yeah. I can't seem to do anything about it. I don't know, I think it's maybe the angle, or it's just so shiny that no matter what you do, this string just slides on it. Anyway, okay, now it's time to put this back in place. The mechanism is now back in. Everything was cleaned, all cables, antenna and everything was put in place. So I did some lubrication to the potentiometer bearings. Everything is fine, power is attached. Now it's time to just put the cover back in place and test to see if it works. So now the back cover is in place. Let's try it out. Pull the massive antenna out. So as you can see, the antenna is really tall. Plus this. And I think we put it on. Actually, I realized something interesting. These knobs are not in the correct place. So this is fine-tuning, FT. It should be here. This is volume. It should be actually where it is. But these two are interchanged, and this one, it's not the same as the knob in the other Magnavoxes I've seen in photographs. I know a few have different knobs, but nonetheless, when I look inside the knob, it has exactly the same attachment mechanism, exactly the same parts, or maybe taken from another Magnavox product, or they changed the knob somehow. Something has changed here. I mean, it's not perfect. It's got wear and use in it, but Let's see how it works. So start the starting button here, the volume. Cool. Let's start tuning. We're on the band 3 now. I better take the light off because it will create some disturbance. So this is on 16 megahertz now. Nice. FD8. I get FD8 in something bit below between 20 and 21 megahertz. Noises I get in my SDRs anyway. Okay, I might try that band later in the evening. See you then. As you can hear, one channel more. I think I will end it here. I basically got the radio working. Yeah, it's a perfect radio. Maybe it is calibration, but hey, it's old. Might do that one day. I'm very happy with this radio. It actually works really well, so I think the wooden box is just not the best one for this, considering all the modern noise around us, but hey, it's still good radio with a really nice antenna. It was fun to work on it. So, see you in another video.